BSO Fire Comm to all Broward Sheriff's Office Fire Rescue Units and Stations. Please stand by for a special announcement. By the order of Sheriff Gregory Tony and Fire Chief Joseph R. Fernandez, the Broward Sheriff's Office announces that today is the last duty day for EMS Division Chief Tammy Nugent. After 35 years of dedicated service, EMS Division Chief Tammy Nugent leaves us to begin her retirement. The Broward Sheriff's Office, as well as the citizens and visitors of Broward County, thank her for her 35 years of service and wish her a long and healthy retirement. Division Chief Tammy Nugent will be at Station 17 during the day today, where you may wish her well. All units resume normal radio operations. Firecom clear, 808.
Congrats, Chief. Congrats, Tammy. Good luck. Congrats, Chief. Way to go, Tammy. Congratulations from Battalion 3-8, Battalion 6-5. All the best in your retirement. Gonna miss you, Chief.
Congrats from Fort Lauderdale Fire.
Chief Wands, Chief Nugent. Congratulations. Godspeed.
Firecom will miss you, 809.
Congrats, Chief. Good luck.
Congrats, Chief. Rescue 102's responding.
Aiden.
Well, the day is finally here. Congratulations, Chief. See you in the shop.
All uniformed personnel, attention! Like me, by your command.
Thank you. Everyone may be seated. I'd like to give special recognition to Colonel Nicole Anderson, who's our undersheriff for BSO. Also Fire Chief Neil DeJesus from Delray Beach, former Fire Chief of BSO Fire Rescue. Fire Chief Stephen Kravanik from Oakland Park Fire Rescue. Dr. Roach and the other medical directors who are in attendance. Also, the EMS subcommittee members from the Fire Chief's EMS subcommittee. And last but not least, other command staff members from other local fire departments. Thank you for being here. I'd also like to welcome any other dignitaries that I did not mention. Additionally, and most importantly, Tammy's family has several members here. Father Tom, three sisters Sheila, Tina, and Janice. Brother-in-laws Rick and Jared, children Randy, Brittany, Dustin, Dylan, and Bridget, cousins Leslie, Heather, Lee, and Francis, grandchildren, it's a long one, Hunter, Haley, Dustin, Allison, and Willow, and I was told there are 9 other ones who couldn't be here today. Imagine that. And last but not least, the man who needs no introduction, husband, Mike Nugent. Thank you all for being here today as we celebrate this great accomplishment. Division Chief Tammy Nugent graduated from Nova High School in 1980. Shortly after finishing high school, Tammy enrolled in the EMT program at Broward College. While in EMT school, Division Chief Nugent worked as an ambulance driver for Randall Eastern Ambulance Company. After completing EMT in 1982, Tammy continued her education by enrolling in Broward College's paramedic program. In 1983, Division Chief Nugent entered into and graduated from the Broward Fire Academy. All the while, Tammy continued to work as an EMT for Atlantic and Medics Ambulance companies. Tammy began her career in fire rescue with the City of Boca Raton Fire Rescue in 1983. On November 12th, on her birthday, no less, in 1984, Broward County EMS was able to steal Tammy Nugent from Boca Raton Fire Rescue. Little did they know that she would become a leader in EMS. What a win for BSO. Tammy is a person who truly understands the importance of education and training. During her career, Division Chief Nugent went on to complete an EMS degree and earned the Fire Officer designation. Tammy also became a fire instructor, ACLS instructor, and BLS instructor. This multitude of credentials allowed Division Chief Nugent to shape the future of fire rescue by teaching EMT and paramedic students at the Broward Fire Academy. Tammy was also able to pass along her experience and knowledge as a preceptor for Broward College's paramedic program. During Division Chief Nugent's career, she served as a flight medic and became part of the technical rescue team. Tammy didn't stop there. In 2002, she was promoted to dryer engineer on TRT and continued to rise through the ranks, working as an officer and coordinator for air rescue and eventually becoming the Division Chief of EMS. During the span of her career, Division Chief Nugent was recognized on multiple occasions. Tammy received Employee of the Month twice, Broward Health Firefighter Paramedic of the Year twice, the 2004 Spirit of Excellence Award from the American Business Women's Association, and the 2018 Lifetime Achievement Award from the Broward County Fire Chiefs Association. I'm sure this one was very special to her. While we're on accomplishments, I feel it's important to mention that because of Tammy's hard work and perseverance, BSO Fire Rescue is now starting up a single mission air rescue program, operating under the most cutting-edge EMS protocols and providing an improved level of oversight through the recently added EMS captain positions. Since the beginning of her career, Division Chief Nugent has served the residents and visitors of Broward County for 35 years. It's a long time. Over the course of those 35 years, Division Chief Nugent has been a leader, a mentor, and a friend to those she served with. Division Chief Nugent, please know that BSO Fire Rescue is a better place because of your contributions and your years of service. Now the time has come to enter a new chapter of your life. This chapter will include spending lots of time with your grandchildren, I'm sure, and trying your best to keep Mike Nugent out of trouble. Good luck with that. I am proud of your accomplishments and your service to the community and your dedication to BSO Fire Rescue. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to serve alongside of you. May you have a long, healthy, and happy and well-deserved retirement. Thank you, Tammy. Honor Guard, the inspection of personnel. At this time, can I please have Brittany Barrington come forward to present the helmet, or badge presentation. Yes, you got more coming. You got a lot of gifts. Next is Chief Keefe for the helmet presentation.
If you notice, I asked for 2 helmets to be brought up. So, it's very important to understand this is really symbolic of Tammy and her effort for multiple reasons. I got to meet Tammy when I was 18 years old, day 1 on the job on Med 14, which is now Station 16, after she had run, I think she had told me, her 32nd call of the day. And she, like always, took me under her wing, taught me a lot, went to fire school, became a flight medic, and here's the biggest example I can give as to how Tammy was tough as nails. I got to meet Tammy by chance every time. 3 daughters. Every daughter that was born, Tammy would be bringing the rescue in 9 months pregnant with one of her children. Every time I ran into her when one of my children was born. That's how tough Tammy was on calls, on incidents. She was always a leader. So Tammy, on behalf of every person out here you work with each and every day, these professional men and women, please display these helmets proudly. Obviously the one I'm gonna shine up a little bit more for you. There you go.
And next we'll do the flag presentation. This flag was flown over Station 85 and even took a ride on Air Rescue 85. Fire Chief, honor guard.
All uniform personnel, attention! Ready? Raise hands. On.
Chief Tammy Nugent, on behalf of Sheriff Gregory Toney and myself as Fire Chief in the Broward Sheriff's Office, Department of Fire Rescue, I present you this flag that, as was mentioned, flew over Station 85, where you have served from within that unit, supervising that unit, and probably every other aspect of this entire agency. So it is with great honor that I present you this flag and wish you Godspeed.
Next, we'll go ahead and do presentation of gifts. We have a flag case from the Honor Guard and the band. Chief Nugent, Chief Mike Nugent.
You're supposed to guess what this was. I got up early and gift wrapped it. Just for you. On behalf of the band, we would like to present this thing. To show our appreciation for all of your support, for always going with us, for always being around and putting up with us.
Somebody help him.
And being our band mom. So we put the Honor Guard logo and the department logo. I think I spelled your name right. Good. Thank you for your dedicated service.
Lots of gifts. You're going to be up here a while. Next, we have a plaque from Command Staff to be presented by Fire Chief Joseph Fernandez.
All right. This is actually a re-gift. We gave it to her already at a luncheon that we had, but it's important to read it again. It's made by some guy that does woodwork. I don't know who that is. But the plaque reads, presented to Division Chief Tammy Nugent with sincere appreciation and gratitude for your 35 years of unselfish service, ongoing support, commitment, and dedication to Broward Sheriff Fire Rescue, Air Operations, Special Operations Command, EMS Division.
Next, we have a presentation from the Fire Chiefs Association EMS Subcommittee.
So we all know that Chief Nugent has touched EMS not only for Broward County Fire Rescue, but she's touched all the municipalities here in Broward County, to the south and to the north, even Boca Raton. So on behalf of the EMS Subcommittee of the Broward County Fire Chiefs, we want to present you with a coin case from all of the municipalities, of all the departments that you've helped in training and protocols and care, even Boca Raton. So congratulations on your retirement. Thank you.
And next, a presentation from Air Rescue.
Due to a non-disclosure agreement, we won't be discussing what this is. No, we appreciate the Canada and everything that you've done. Keeping this ball so far forward. You know, when we just think about
And next, a gift presentation from retired Battalion Chief Jeff Andrews.
Many years ago, we had a dream after the merger with the fire department, keeping EMS in the forefront within the fire department. We started doing research throughout systems in Broward County, the state of Florida, across the United States, then across the world. We met with medical directors from next door to London, England, to discuss what we could do to keep EMS in the forefront. We've had this dream of an EMS division. She's been able to carry out that dream and to take it much further than what we ever discussed. We started attending the Eagles Conference, which was a great conference to attend. We learned all about EMS in the foresight of all the departments. And because of that, she was able to bring the Eagles, not only EMS division to Broward County Fire Rescue, but to bring the Eagles in. So, from the world-renowned artist, Carson Andrews, I present to you the Eagle bringing in EMS to the fire department.
All right, thank you very much. And finally, the Fire Chief would like to make a few comments.
So it'll be very easy to speak extemporaneously for Tammy Nugent. Speaking personally, I came to learn over the years that we had a lot of overlaps in our life journey. starting out with the fact that we were born 4 days apart on the same year. I was born in Miami, she was born in Hialeah, but not far apart. We pretty much started in the fire service, although she started earlier in Randall Eastern and then in Boca, but her journey here in Broward began pretty much at the same time mine did in the city of Miami. Another big personal overlap between her and I, and the reason I fought feverishly to recommend her to be Division Chief of EMS is because there are very few people that hold service and emergency medical services as closely to their heart as Tammy does. I recognize that. I saw it as something that I've always cherished. And she is that person that you can never say at any time of the day, any time of the night, no matter which call it was, the 20th or the 25th or the 32nd, that she would cut a corner or that she would treat anybody any less than you would your mother, father, sister, brother, regardless of their creed, color, economic background, how you smelled. It's that type of person that she is, and that's why it was very easy for me to recommend her to the fire chief at the time. And she has done an exemplary job since then. We have had to do a lot, and Tammy, again, for most of you, you're either in the fire service, associated with, family member of. The EMS division is responsible for most of the calls we go on. EMS as a whole. So every member, every paramedic in this fire department is under her authority and control. And she has that huge responsibility across all of Broward County and interacting with all the other municipal departments that we interact with. And she does it with professionalism, with grace, but really does it from the heart. And that's why she could never do it wrong. And it's been an honor to watch her work. We had to deal with the loss of a medical director various years ago. We had to search for one, and we found an exemplary one because Tammy and those of us involved in the search were able to find Dr. Roach. And since those two hit the ground running, we've accomplished all sorts of things. One of the greatest gifts that Tammy, in conjunction with the agency and Dr. Roach, have left behind is the delivery of whole blood. For many of you EMS fire people in the crowd, the delivery of service has changed. We used to give a lot of IV fluids. That was one of our only ways to sustain life until you get to the trauma room. But that does not carry oxygen. And once you have enough IV fluid in you, you don't have any blood left in you. So we are the first in the county. We are carrying it on the air rescue now. So we basically serve anyone in Broward County that the air rescue is flying to, and probably one of the only ones in the state and few in the country. I don't want to cut anybody out if they came aboard soon, but it's a huge effort that it took to bring blood to the field, and she did that while she was managing all the other aspects of emergency medical service for the Broward County Sheriff's Office, Department of Fire Rescue. And then the small item of moving the air rescue service to the fire department. We had an exemplary air rescue service in conjunction with our Department of Law Enforcement. The pilots were the law enforcement component, and then the medic and the medic officer were the tactical flight officer as well, helping the law enforcement officer track bad guys and do all the other stuff that they did, and then they would launch and go on medical missions. They did a great job, but we got to the point where the agency identified that it was time to split the mission, and it's a huge benefit to everyone that we serve, because when you're doing two missions, you can't do them all to the degree that you want to. So you carry different amounts of fuel, you have to trade off different types of equipment that you can and cannot carry, weights. So by splitting the missions, both missions have, no pun intended, soared beyond the level that they were at before, and that was a very high level. And again, Tammy had to hire pilots and deal with starting an airline, literally starting an airline, of which I'm the CEO on the FAA certificate. Who thought firefighter would ever be on there? But those are just two things that have occurred in the past couple of years. Two things that I know are dear in the hearts of a lot of the members of this agency that are here, active and retired. So the list could go on and go on and go on, and that's why I couldn't prepare anything, because we'd run out of paper and you guys would have to be fed and we'd take a break and move on from there. So I have the utmost respect for Tammy Nugent. Although we work together every day, sometimes we don't talk for days or weeks because I know what she's doing, and if she needs to talk to me, she lets me know. Other than that, she plows ahead. Additionally, it's very, very heartwarming to know that her daughter is being promoted to lieutenant. She's also assigned to the air rescue.
Surprise.
Brittany has been another person that has been in motion her entire career. And interestingly, I can't imagine where she's going to end up, Tammy. I don't know, but it seems to be kind of lining itself up for something. So with that, I want to thank everybody for being here. This tradition was started by Chief Lello many years ago. We perform this ceremony for every member, regardless of rank. It can be difficult. You can have 2 in a week sometimes, but it's more than worth the effort. It fixes the culture that we have. It sets it with a bar that we all know we have to maintain. And it's something that I'm very proud of, having come into this agency 8.5 years ago, something that I would never allow to go by the wayside, something that makes us very proud every time we get to see someone that's made it to the end of their career and is now able to enjoy the fruits of her labor. So with that, I thank everyone. Tammy, I can't congratulate you enough. I can't thank you enough for making BSO Fire successful, me successful, and having someone that I know that I love and that cares about all of us. Congratulations. Godspeed, Tammy.
Thank you, Chief. And it's with great honor to call forward Division Chief Tammy Nugent.
Wow, I promise I'll try to keep it short. I told the honor guard like 3 minutes, but it's gonna be about 6. Can everybody hear me? No? Okay. So I can tell you one thing before I start my little speech, is that it's so much easier being on the other side with the honor guard than walking behind the honor guard. And I was so nervous. I don't even know why, because I've walked that walk. If I walked it once, I've walked it 30 times. Anyway, a great philosopher, Alfred North Whitehead, once said, "No one who achieves success does so without the help of others. The wise and the confident acknowledge this help with gratitude." I thank everyone for being here. I'm in awe and humbled by the amount of people that are here from the different fire departments. I can't name everybody, all the fire departments from around the county, the Fire Chiefs Association, my EMS colleagues. It's humbling. That's all I can say. And if I forget to thank anybody, know that you're in my heart, and I thank you very much for being here. All the retirees, wow. I can't wait to join you guys over there, because it looks way much easier way back there, and to wear my blue shirt. Thank you for being here. I started this career 39 years ago with the goal to help others. I am grateful that I've been able to fulfill this goal, and I feel contentment as I retire. I am humbled to stand here with all the great people that I've had the honor to work with throughout my career, and I want to thank you all for coming to celebrate this day with me. And before I forget, I see a bunch of hospital staff that I worked with over the years, Broward Health, Florida Medical Center, Broward Memorial Pembroke, and if I don't see anybody else, thank you hospitals for being here. That means a lot to me. Chief Fernandez, thank you for giving me the opportunity to lead the Division of EMS and for your support over the years that I've been in this position. You're a great fire chief, and I personally thank you for all you've done for this agency. Thank you for your passion as a fire chief and a supporter of EMS and all that you've done for the EMS division. Thank you, Kristen, for attending. It means a lot to me. Chief Keefe, wow, what a whirlwind of the past 4 years have been. Thank you and Chief Fernandez for making what I thought was impossible possible. I am grateful for this beyond any words that I can say, and I cannot wait to see the end product of our air rescue program. The air rescue program has been one of the most rewarding parts of my career. During my years at Air Rescue, they were busy, very busy. We ran some extremely challenging calls, and I would like to acknowledge someone here today that impacted my career more than I could have ever imagined. When I was at Air Rescue, Deputy Carbucci, you have let me have closure from that call on November 12th, as well as many other calls that I've ran every time I get to see you and give you that hug. Thank you for being here today. Chief Polness, I've worked with you for 29 years and you've been a mentor and a supporter, a great supporter of my career. Thank you. Chief Rudbick, I know sometimes I can't help but show my passion by being grumpy. But I want to thank you for supporting me and calming me in all those times. Thank you. Chief Bouchelon, I don't think he's here. Is he here? Oh, yes, he's here. No more SOGs, I promise. I promise. Chief Busenberg and Chief Davis, although our time was short working together, I always appreciate your advice and your sense of humor and what makes coming to work such a pleasure. Dr. Roach, Dr. Rusinoff, Dr. Pepe and Dr. Sheppy are not attending, but Dr. Rusinoff and Dr. Roach, you have brought this agency to the highest level of pre-hospital medicine that I have seen in a very, very long time. I want to thank you for that and your support to me over the past 3 years as our medical directors. And thank you for being here. Chief Clark and Lieutenant Shaver, thank you for stepping up and taking charge of this so important division. I wish you both of the best, and I have confidence that you will do great things. To our EMS captains, I know that you provide daily oversight of EMS and have supported me over the past couple of years, and I thank you. I thank you all. I know I promise it's short. I'm still shaking though. To Captain Jackson, our air rescue coordinator, all of the flight medics who have stayed through this turmoil, a little bit of turmoil. Thank you for believing in the program, and thank you for being part of one of the hardest jobs in EMS. I respect you, and I wish you all the best in this new program. What a great time to be at BSO Fire Rescue. Thank you. Thank you, Director of Operations, Dennis McCall, Chief Pilot Danielle Fuller, Fire Rescue Pilots, Jonathan Weirs, and the others that aren't in attendance today. I know you have made and will continue to make our unit safe as it can be. Thank you for joining our team and help us lead us into the great future that we have. Thank you. To all my other coworkers, and there's so many to name, and again, I apologize if I can't name everyone, division chiefs, district chiefs, battalion chiefs, captains, lieutenant, driver, engineer, firefighter, paramedics, you have made my job easy, most of the time. And I appreciate what you do every single day. To my many friends that are here from the job and those that I have met through the job that I cannot mention because they will start the music, which means I will have to leave. You have been that ear when I need to talk, the hug when I had one of those days, the shoulder that I need to lean on because you understand. I love you all, I thank you, and I hope our friendship lasts forever. There's a friend of mine here today that has been in my life from the day I was born. We grew up next door to each other as neighbors, and after spending many years on the beach together, we decided when we graduated high school, we had to do something, that we decided to go to EMT school together. After graduating the paramedic school and the fire academy, we both went off to work for different departments in the early 1980s. Jeannie Wentworth, who would have thought that we would have been here today working for the same agency? Thank you for sharing this dream with me years ago, and we made it. I started attending Rick Lasky's Duty, Pride, and Tradition conference in Louisville, Texas years ago with Mike Nugent. Although I used to say I was a teacher so I could go hang out with the wives and have happy hour and go to the spa, I learned through that conference and through Mike Nugent what it is to be a part of a family of fire department brothers and sisters that live that motto every day. Mike started the Black Pearl Pipes and Drums, and I want to thank him and the entire band for what you do to honor the fire department, the military, our law enforcement, and others. Thank you. To my honor guard brothers and sisters, there is no better feeling than being a part of a family that honors those who help others. Dave Lindsay, the former commander, when I was accepted in the honor guard, thank you for convincing me that I will not be a crybaby at every event. Of course, except today. Commander Charlie Eckert and the entire honor guard family, you are, as well as the Black Pearl and the Drums, truly represent what it is to give back to the members who have worked a long career helping others and those who have given the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you for letting me be a part of this family. Thank you, Honor Guard. To my family, my dad, who taught me to be the best at what I choose to do day in and day out. I love you, Dad, and I'm so glad you could be here. My sisters who are here, my brother who couldn't make it, my brother-in-law, Rick, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening to all my stories. Tina, you've memorized most of them, right? Okay, thank you. I love you all. To my cousins, Francis Lee, Leslie, Heather, one of which now, Heather, is getting into our profession. I love you, Heather, and Godspeed. Oh, there you are. To all my grandchildren, they're not all here, believe it or not, grow up to be great leaders. I love you, Haley. I love you all. To my children, Randy's here, Bridget's here, Brittany's here, Travis is here, Dustin's here, Dylan's here. I got a lot of kids. Did I miss any of them? Holy cow. Corey could not attend today. Thank you for your sacrifice so that I was able to have this career. Thank you for listening to all my stories, understanding the parties or other events I could not attend. I love you all, and you will now have my full attention. But not my money. Just kidding. Oh, and by the way, I'm buying an RV so I can park it outside your homes on a monthly rotation. I love you all. Thank you. Mike Nugent. Yes, I know who Mike Nugent is, and yes, I've seen him with wood. My mom's favorite store. She wouldn't be here today, but thank you for being there when I have my daily "no one cares as much as me" meltdowns, teaching me how many nails are in a 2-foot cleat. It's 10, right? Just kidding. I hear that every day. And that it's okay to retire. I know you just said that so I can work in the shop. I do not ever want to have to respond to a code. Sorry, let me go backwards. I do not ever want to have to respond, code 3, to your call again like I did 2 years ago on June 8th. That was definitely not the call I expected to run. I am so glad you made it through, and I thank the entire BSO Fire Rescue family, as well as the BSO SWAT team and the SWAT medics, especially B. Hayes, I know you're out there, and Carlos, or also known as Bobble, for being there to help me through these tough days. I love you, Mike, and thank you for being in my life. I will end finally with two quotes. Dr. Seuss is one of my favorites. He once said, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." And then, of course, Winnie the Pooh, if you didn't know, Winnie the Pooh's a girl, once said, "How lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard." Thank you. Thank you all.
Everybody please stay standing. The honor guard's going to close out the ceremony.
All uniformed personnel, attention! Flight Major, by your command. One, two.
This concludes our ceremony. Thank you everybody for attending.